Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 15 of our MotoGP 25 Let's Play. Yes, we return this weekend here for the Catalonia Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live from Balaton Park back at the start of the week, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. I apologise there hasn't been any videos. I've been very busy with some other exciting stuff over the last few days. I apologise. Yeah, like I said, MotoGP, it's sticking around, but it might just not be as regularly as I would want it to be at this moment in time. If we have a quick update though on the championship standings, Adrian Fernandez, who has dominated so much this year, his lead has been cut down to just 18 points ahead of Jose Antonio Rueda. We are still in P13. You can see 8 points currently behind Alvaro Carpe. In the Moto2 class, it is Aaron Canet now at the top of the table, but 6 riders covered by less than 10 points in that championship. An absolutely wild fight going down into the second half of the year. Over in MotoGP, Pecco leading the way, 83 points clear of Ayagura and Jorge Martin as well there, just outside of your top standings. Though there's Marc Marquez, sorry, in P2. So I would assume in MotoGP, in Moto2 even, yeah, there's Tony Arbolino as well. They're tied on points in Moto2. So yeah, brilliant fight going down at the moment there. But returning to Catalonia, it's a track that I know. So, fingers crossed we can have a good weekend. Get yourselves subscribed as well. We're trying to hit 4K subs.
Greetings to everyone listening. Today, MotoGP beginning a big race weekend on the asphalt of the Barcelona-Catalunya circuit. Just a few more moments and we'll be live with the free practice. It's the last chance for Moto3 riders to review their bike setups and assess the track condition. The sun is shining over the circuit, the asphalt is dry, and the riders can concentrate on finding their ideal setup.
Well, it's nice to know that basically every motorsport series has gone back to running the old-style final chicane here at Barcelona. Obviously, Formula 1's done it, and MotoGP has as well, which is absolutely fantastic news. So, a couple less corners to worry about over the course of the weekend. But, yeah, this is one of MotoGP's crown jewel events. If I know correctly, I'm pretty certain this is like one of the big ones that the riders all want to win. Huge amount of fan support as well out for this event, and of course a lot of Spanish riders in all 3 classes, so we want to try and deliver a good result here, but we're going to be a little bit rusty. It's been a few days since I played. That's something that the F1 game certainly hasn't updated yet, that huge kind of bridge, I guess it is, over the circuit down in towards those final few corners. That completely took me by surprise, to be honest. I forgot it was there. I assume it's just to connect the front of the circuit with all these stands around the back of the lap. As I'm talking about all that, I've thrown myself off the bike. Well, I know this circuit was originally built for Formula 1 to come back here in the 1990s, but it does work really well. I think it actually probably works better as a motorbike circuit, and of course it's had some very iconic moments as a motorbike track. But first proper lap time on the board then. We're about a second away from Joel Kelso. That's honestly pretty good going for an early lap on the board. Well, maybe taking a few days away from this game is actually a good idea then. A little bit wide through the final corner, but this lap time is going to be a pretty good one. David Munoz currently fastest on a 49.3. We will do a 49.2. And bearing in mind, pretty much all the top riders have done a lap. Maybe like I said, just taking a couple of days away has allowed me to get my eye in. I'll have a look at that then. Final free practice results. 5 Spaniards in your top 6. And me. We are going to be the one hopefully trying to cause a bit of an upset this weekend. I mean, in your top 12, it is just all Spaniards and Italians and myself there. The rest of the field is a little bit more varied. But it is very much, you know, MotoGP has always been dominated by those 2 countries. But we've made it straight through into Q2. It's been a long time since I've fought for pole in this series.
Back at the circuit for the second Moto3 qualifying session. The first riders are about to get out on track and battle their way to the best grid positions for tomorrow's race.
Well, I might have been a bit of an idiot then on this game. I finally swapped out to a different Xbox controller, and I think my old one, the throttle, was sticking, which might explain why we've struggled so much in some of the races recently. Immediately, I feel a whole lot smoother this weekend, so if that's been the reason why I've struggled, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed I think if we get like a decent championship position, you know, if we're kind of fighting for wins quite regularly by the end of the season, and obviously a Moto2 team offers us a contract, I think we'll probably take it. I'm not too worried about trying to win like Moto3 and Moto2 that much on this game. You know, the main goal is to try and win in MotoGP. I genuinely thought they'd like updated this game or changed the handling model in an update that I just haven't seen somewhere. First lap time in qualifying then at 48.8, we can definitely set a 147. Well, this isn't actually something we see that often inside this game, but both tyres, I should say, are really starting to overheat as we come towards the end of our second run. The Delta's still looking pretty competitive, so we can definitely improve if we head back out there. But yeah, the temperature, I mean, look at that, in 2 laps, that rear tyre is wrecked. And by the time we head back out then, this is basically now a one-ditch attempt here to get ourselves back up towards the front of the order. Alvaro Carpe has done a 147.5, 1.3 seconds we need to find here. But on a fresh set with low fuel, anything is possible. Come on, we want to nail this. There's a good chance. Just trying to dance the bike on the limiter grip then up in towards these final couple of corners. Well, up in the green, but I don't know by how much. I feel like it's been a good lap time there, but the AI have just ramped up in a way that I just don't think is really possible for me towards the end of this session. And luckily, track limits here seem to be fairly lenient, so we're going to try and lean on all of those through the final corner. Whoa, just running the wheel in the gravel on the exit, but we're going to keep our foot in. A 48.2 puts us P5. I think that's all we're going to be able to do, but we've got time. I'll try and see if we can keep the tyres in check for one more. It's really just this corner up the hill that I'm struggling around the lap, but we've done a slightly better job of keeping the tyres in check this time round. So we make our way through. We're going to be very, very low on fuel. Do not want to run out before the end of this lap because, again, well, we are improving there slightly. Get a little bit of a wobble through the penultimate corner, but can we just go full send on the exit? Run up towards the line there. We've lost a little bit of time. Oh, I've run out of fuel anyway. 48.1. We do improve. We stay P5. I'll take it. There we are then. Alvaro Carpe, I don't think would have been the Spaniard any of us would have guessed could be on pole today, but that's exactly what he's done there ahead of Yamanaka and Ralston. So despite the fact the Spaniards dominated in practice, everybody else getting the jump on most of them by the time we get through qualifying. Adrian Fernandez there up in P4. Jose Antonio Rueda, though, down in P13. He has got his work cut out as we head into the race.
Hello and welcome to Barcelona, Spain. We're coming to you from the Catalunya circuit, where the fans in the stands are eagerly awaiting the riders to take to the track. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto3 race. These shots coming to us live from the grid, where technicians and engineers are carrying out final checks on the bike before the start. The weather is clear and temperatures are far from extreme. However, tyre wear will play a very important factor in today's race. That's why lots of riders have been using medium tyres in the front and rear.
Well, here we are then down on the grid. Yeah, we are definitely going to be rocking those medium tyres as well then. The softs, they last about 2 laps. I can't imagine the mediums are going to be particularly great, but that's what we're going to have to do. I'm looking forward to this one, though. I'm hoping I found newfound confidence and now I've figured out the controller. Kyle Busch seems to have left me, though, which is a bit of a shame. So we've been replaced by someone else, but let's put that behind us and let's get on with it.
The riders are ready for the start of the Catalan Grand Prix. The lights are on, and as soon as they go out, it's gonna get wild.
This is easily one of the best races of the season normally for MotoGP. The 10 red lights are on. It's going to be lights out, and away we go. There's such a long run down into turn 1. And luckily there, I believe that was Forosato giving me a little bit of a push off the start there. So normally my bad start's on this game. But this time around, we might actually be able to make some progress by the time we get in towards that first corner there. Oh, a little bit of contact with the championship leader, Adrian Fernandez, as we again get a bit of a push through turn 2 and turn 3 there. Oh, big dive coming in from David Munoz, who wants to make some progress. But we will do the old up and under on him then. Already someone getting done the irresponsible riding, so have to be careful in the early lap series. Again, oh, Munoz! I mean, I tried to back out of it. I tried to give him some space if he's going to go for moves like that. That time around, we'll do the switchback on him, I should say. But like I've said before, the Moto3 riders are absolutely so aggressive on this game that I will occasionally allow myself some of those. As Munoz again, apparently every single corner, he's just going to go for a dive bomb on me. So we need to try and create a little bit of room ahead of him. As it looks like Alvaro Carpe still leading this one at the front of the order. That time round, I can't blame Munoz for going for it, as apparently I was on a different version. Oh, but by the time we get towards the end of lap 1 there, David Munoz again trying to just be very, very aggressive. Oh, he gets a big wobble off that final inside curb. So there should surely be a run back around his outside in towards turn 1. But the fact that we haven't lost any places there off the start, I think we can be pretty happy with. I mean, we're pretty even in a straight line. I think we've got ever so slightly more. 245 clicks by the time we get into turn 1. And again, turn 1 is one that I definitely feel confident on the brakes, as we will rock right up to the back of Ralston here. Can we try and do the old up and under through turn 2 and turn 3? Definitely, you know, feel like we're building up more confidence, feel like we're getting more and more control and understanding. But Adrian Fernandez already doing what he does best on this game. Just keeps it tidy at the start and then slowly picks off other riders through the early laps there to the inside of Ralston. We'll try and have a go. Should hopefully be able to get this one slowed down. He tries to go the long way around. And we'll get the power down and we'll slot into 4th. Oh, Adrian Fernandez. Well, everybody having a bit of a wobble up the hill. So we'll go past Alvaro Carpe there as Yamanaka now into the lead of the race. Let's see again, Adrian. You know, he doesn't have to start risking it too much, but Ruida's already up to 8th place here, so he's had a really, really good start as well. Definitely too late on the brake that time round. Try and get it slowed down. Oh, looks like we've got a rider gone. Looks like Patelli going to be our first retirement of the day. I did think with the long run into turn 1, could we see a few riders off pretty early on, but it's actually been fairly instant free. Apart from myself and David Munoz apparently having contact every other corner. To the inside again, we will go. And he can try and find it around the outside, and we'll just give him a little bit of a shoulder barge out. Oh, on the other hand, though, Ralston trying to look back down the inside. Munoz again trying to pinch me on the exit. And we're just watching our top 3 start to pull away. So, oh, that is Almanza. What's Adrian Fernandez's teammate? Obviously leading the constructors together. This is, like you guys have said before, like I've said before, Moto3 on this game, they are so unbelievably aggressive. But I really just want to be fighting right at the very front. So, oh, that's a beautiful little switchback down the inside of Ralston again. Come on, we need to get back past Munoz. Oh, here we go. Now we're starting to get some championship updates a little bit more often, which I guess is good news. Oh, Fernandez! As soon as the championship standings come up, Fernandez falls off. And we are apparently going to be down to P14 in the standings at the moment, but we made a couple of spots up right at that moment. I assume Yamanaka is right behind me in the title. I know Alvaro Carpe is right in front of me overall in the standings, so it'd be a good job to beat him. But we might just have put a bit of breathing room between myself and David Munoz now. But Fernandez, what's this, the 3rd weekend in a row where I don't think he's going to score? Come on then, Alvaro Carpe. A little bit of a wobble through that final corner, but surely with the slipstream, going to be able to get past him back into turn 1. Yamanaka, about 1.2 seconds up the road here, and the standings at the moment looking great for us. Have we even had a podium since that win back at Chang? I honestly can't remember at this point. But I'm not gunning for a podium today. Just under 3 laps to go. I'm going for the win. Just over 1 lap to go then, and we have rocked up to the back of Yamanaka. But both our tyres are really starting to struggle towards the end there. Little wobble over the curbing. Luckily, again, the track limits here are pretty forgiving, actually, around this circuit. But the Catalan GP, though, one of, if not the biggest event of the season in MotoGP. Are we about to get an opportunity on our 2nd race victory of the year here? Tucked up in the wheel tracks of Yamanaka. Lap times are falling off as the tyres beginning to give up here. That rear tyre has got next to nothing left, but honestly, the front's not looking much better there. It's all a bit of a wobble into turn 1. So you try and lean hard on that front brake there. Try and get underneath him through turn 2. And can we go the long way through turn 3? Well, get around him there. He tried to get the wheel back up the inside, but he couldn't quite manage it. And into the lead on the last lap of the Spanish Grand Prix here. from Catalonia down in towards turn 4. Again, he's trying to have a look down the inside, but he couldn't do it. He gets a bit of a wobble there. We've got to be careful as we accidentally get all up on the curbing as well. And looks like David Munoz has potentially looked after his tyres a little bit better. There goes Munoz down the inside, but he hasn't got the grip. But what he has done is forced us out wide there. Munoz gone. We're down to P3 again. And are we going to get denied a golden opportunity here? Alvaro Carpe back up into P2. Yamanaka out of nowhere. It looked like he was going to be down in P3. But he has been gifted the lead back in this race late on. And I know we've had beef with David Munoz today, but no idea what his intentions were there. Down in towards that corner. Into the final sector, though, of the race. Through the final couple of corners, though, here from Catalonia. We've got the pace. The new controller is definitely working a whole lot better. Gutted it's not going to be the win, but we are going to be finally back on the podium.
Let's take a look at the final results of this Moto3 race. The riders are returning to the pits and will soon join them in Parc Ferme for the usual post-race interviews.
There we go then. I think our fastest lap goes to show the pace we had today, but it is Yamanaka that takes the victory here. Half a second clear of Alvaro Carpe. We come through for third ahead of David Almanza there. Foggia, Ralston, Kelso, Rarida and Detweiler will round out your top 10 there, with Maximo Quiles, Furasato, Bequeras, Balsri, Nepa and Buchanan rounding out your point scorers. Adrian Fernandez, despite that fall, narrowly misses out on still picking up some points. As where on earth was Detweiler and all this? Sorry, there he was, up in P9, of course. Having a look then at our World Championship. We're still down in P13 at the moment, but the gap at the top down to just 10 points between Merida and Fernandez there. Sorry, we're down to 14th even as Yamanaka gets the jump on me as well. A big gap back, though, to the riders further behind. I still reckon we could definitely get back in the top 10 overall, but I reckon there might be a couple more places than that if we can maintain this momentum. Constructors-wise, CIP, we re-jump 658 as well, so rather happy with that one. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back very soon with more MotoGP content.